Guys, welcome back to today's pitch for my final major project in my media course. Today I am your host Ryan Batten and I want to showcase you my pitch for my project that I am developing in media. So the first point I want to introduce to you guys today is a brief summary of my final idea for my final major project. So during the early stages of my project, I decided to take the professional method and approach of using the media format of a vodcast. You may be asking yourself, what is the difference between a vodcast and a podcast? It is commonly referred and mixed between each other. People often find a vodcast and a podcast confusing. While they share similarities, they are completely opposite. A podcast often uses and relies on audio only to appeal to their target audio. However, a vodcast often uses visuals and audio to engage and appeal to their target audience. Within my vodcast episodes, I will have 3 independent episodes that will include 3 featured guests, that is in different demographical age groups. Within my vodcast, I will be looking at social and personal interests and the hobbies within each demographical age groups. This is because as we get older, we often shift our hobbies and preferences. This is described in the images below. For my next bullet point of my pitch for my media project today is my vodcast audience. So when you're creating a project, you gotta have an audience. You may be asking yourself, who is my audience for my vodcast? Well, today I want to explain to you that my primary audience is people aged between 16 to 25 years old, often mature teenagers and young adults. This is because from conducting research from primary and secondary research, I was able to establish that 84% of 16 to 25-year-olds interact with the format of vodcast weekly. To be able to appeal and engage to my target audience, I will be using the structure of an interview and conversational structure to appeal to my target audience. This is important because not only will I be able to gain personal insight and knowledge of my featured guests, my target audience will also be able to gather personal insight and knowledge of how different demographical groups find identity and individualism differently. There are 2 main reasons why I have gone for interview and conversational structure, which I will demonstrate now. The main reason why I decided to go for an interview structure for my vodcast is to sharpen my creative approach and creative decision-making process. Also, within my research, I found out that conversational vodcast often appeals to target audience the most and is likely to do the most successful thing within the industry. As you can see within the images, I'll be using primary and secondary research in forms of interview questionnaires and focus groups. My next point of today's pitch is my creative style direction for my media project. Within my vodcast, I have 3 main objectives that I want to complete. The first objective is to create content that is visually appealing towards my target audience. This will be done by talking about what we previously mentioned on the previous slide. My second point is to have my content to be very engaging for my target audience. This will be done by using multiple locations. This is demonstrated in the images below. The first image represents a gym goer that is aged between 20 to 30 years old. My second image demonstrates a home environment where my second vodcast episode will take place. Finally, the third and final image demonstrates a study environment such as college or university. All three of these images describe where I will be filming and the people I will be including within my podcast. Finally, the fourth image in the bottom right hand of the screen demonstrates one shot that I will be using within my podcast, often known as an establishing shot. For my next point of my final major project pitch is the requirements I will have to undergo. So, as the main producer in my media project, there are many requirements and ethical considerations I will have to consider. For example, I will need to gain permission to interview guests and gain permission to record in specific locations. I will be able to achieve this by using the professional media documentation such as a talent release form and a location release form. Both of these forms correlate to each other, helping me as a main producer ensure legal protection while recording guests in certain locations. As you can see within my images on the right hand side demonstrates the documentation visuals of what some paperwork will look like. It includes what a location release form looks like, a talent release form looks like, a risk assessment and an AV script. Thank you guys for listening to today's media pitch. I hope you guys have enjoyed my pitch today. Remember, if you have any questions that you would like to get answered due to you being unsure, please let me know, and thank you.